welcome back once again to Dadnarok. This is Sean.
And this is old man Chris, apparently.
Both of us. Well, you are older than me by 6 whole months.
Oh, yeah. Well, see, that's fair because I rub that in my wife's face all the time, and she's only 2 months older than me. No, 6 months older than me. So,
Tonight, we're talking about the 1987 classic Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, starring John Candy and Steve Martin. One of those two men are still alive. R.I.P. John Candy.
I was like, can you guess which one?
um, what else? That's about, yeah, who are we?
I think we're Dadnarok. We've been Dadnarok for, believe it or not, half a decade now. Can you believe that?
Isn't that weird? Since
Uh,
2020.
that is nuts.
We were
Actually, we started
Dadnarok
pre-pandemic.
pre-pandemic. Yeah.
Woo wee. We do a lot. We do a lot of these right now. We're having fun with the Christmas movies that we don't typically watch. There's a bunch of shorts, Lego stuff, some video game stuff, some movie reactions, which we're way behind on. Some Canada Dry. Oh man, is that with zero sugar? Man, we're really showing how old we are now.
I
We're,
don't
we're
drink my
sugar
sugar
free.
anymore. I don't drink my sugar.
I take my sugar through the pixie stick still. But like Sean said, we're doing planes, trains, and automobiles, and this was your pick.
Yes. And it's a
And
Thanksgiving movie. And this is we're a few days, we're 2 days past the Thanksgiving weekend. But it's still in a timely fashion. All the rest are official Christmas movies. This
yes,
is one of the only Thanksgiving movies that exist.
I was gonna say, yeah, you don't find very many like actual Thanksgiving movies. A lot of them are end of Thanksgiving or like a week after Thanksgiving going into it. Kind of like
Yeah.
National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. I think it starts like a
Hmm.
week after Thanksgiving. They
Right.
start with the Advent calendar and they kind of go all the way through. But
This was your first time watching this movie. What'd you think?
this was well, no, let's do this here first before we get into that. Let's watch the trailer and see if people remember this movie. Boop. Ah, ribbon.
Oh wait, hold on. Media assets removed. Okay, we're good.
During holiday travel, some people get delirious, some get delayed, and some get Del Griffin.
American Light and Fixture, Director of Sales, Shower Curtain Ring Division.
Neil Page got all three.
I was on my way home to spend a nice holiday with my family. Instead, I'm in a motel bed with a stranger.
So instead of Thanksgiving with his family, he's spending 3 days with the turkey.
Two happy clams just whistling down the road.
Flintstones, meet the Flintstones, and the Marconi family.
Paramount Pictures presents
Wilma!
Steve Martin,
Ever been to Hawaii?
Yeah.
You see Don Ho while you were there?
See the second show. That's the best one.
Is that right?
Yeah.
John Candy,
Hallelujah.
Why are you holding my hand? Where's your other hand? Between two pillows. Those aren't pillows.
in a new film by John Hughes. Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
See that Bears game last week? Yeah, hell of a game. Hell of a game.
Hell of a game. Hell of a game.
Oh,
So
yes, this is a good one.
I watched this with Zach.
Oh boy.
So Zach's seen this for the first time,
Yeah.
while I seen it for the first time. And to give you an idea on how much we enjoyed this movie, my wife said we sound like a couple hyenas in the living room. We were laughing the entirety of the movie. It felt a little aged,
Oh,
but
yeah, well, it is. It's old.
but it was fun. I mean, there was
Yeah.
only a couple things that took me out. The car fire and the car still working,
Oh,
and
right.
backing into the hotel, all the way into the hotel, and then driving out like nothing happened either. They're the only real two things that took me out of it, but the
Yeah.
rest of it, I really enjoyed.
Yeah, I love this movie. I actually hadn't seen this movie in its entirety up until maybe the last few years. It had kind of a resurgence, I think. I don't know if like around every Thanksgiving, it's because it's one of the only ones. It kind of gets some reviews on YouTube and that kind of thing.
It's
You
all
find
over
out what we're
TikTok right
doing here.
now.
Oh, is it
It's
really?
like, yeah, it just seems to be like everyone's talking about it. And I don't know if there's only a few people talking about it, and it's kind of one of those things. If you're talking about it, your phone is kind of
Right.
paying attention,
Part of the
and then it just
algorithm.
kind of starts feeding you, theories about the movie. I've heard some weird theories about Dell and the actual chest he has and his wife, and I'm like, I don't like any of these. They're creepy.
Oh, I don't want to know. I don't want to know. Yeah.
But yeah, let's just
Um,
start the beginning. So basically, it's Neil and Dell, is
Neil
it right?
Page and Dell. Yeah, Dell
Yeah.
Joseph. Yep, Neil
So
and
Neil's
Dell.
trying
Yeah.
to get home for the holidays, back to Chicago
From New York.
from New York.
Yeah, he's already running late. Even like he's got a 6 o'clock flight that he's never gonna make because this guy, the CEO that he's pitching to, is just like indecisive. Deals like a marketing executive. Like especially you could tell by the size of his house in Chicagoland that he makes a
Yeah.
good amount of money. He
Well, I mean,
probably
he
does
does.
whatever Kevin McAllister's dad does.
Yeah, right. He does make the flight. He's there in time, but then
Yes.
it gets delayed because of the storm that is happening in Chicago.
Yeah. Yeah, gets rerouted to Wichita, Kansas. And but before that, I mean, he trips over Dell's luggage. His Dell's what is that called? Not suitcase, but
It's like a
his
hutch or a
no, the thing that his wife is in.
yeah. Yeah, no. It's like
You said it
I
earlier.
hell.
You said the word. Hold on. Let's stop recording so we can go back and listen to what you called it earlier.
I called it a hutch, didn't I?
No.
Or suitcase
Luggage.
that
I don't know.
dude,
Whatever.
I'm telling you, old man brain is setting in really hard today.
It's getting to be because I get up at 5:30 each morning, and to have my brain in full capacity here at 8:30 is starting to ask a lot of me. But yeah, so John Candy plays this role. I actually watched a documentary that was made this year by John Candy's son and Tom Hanks' son actually. Directed it, but it's on Amazon Prime if you guys want to check it out. Just search John Candy on Amazon Prime. And it's like a 90-minute, 2 hour long documentary about John Candy and his life growing up. He was one of those guys where it's like he was, as far as comedians go, he was like a comedian's comedian. Like even other comedians loved him. He was from that SCTV crew, the same crew that had like Dave Thomas, Rick Moranis, and a bunch of other. Catherine O'Hare, actually, who is Kevin McAllister's mom. That they're basically the SNL up in Canada. And yeah, it's just his life. And I think he could have been one of those guys that did a whole dramatic turn if
You
he
want
would
to feel
have kept on
stupid?
living. What?
He's carrying a trunk.
Yes, it is a trunk.
I'm sorry. Keep going. No, you.
I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure that's what you call it too. Um, but this role for him was just it's maybe his best role. I kind of like Uncle Buck. That's probably my favorite John Candy movie. But yeah,
Oh,
this one was great. Hmm?
for me, it's Cool Runnings.
Oh, Cool Runnings. Yeah, that's
That's
a good
my
one.
favorite John Candy movie.
You know, it's funny. There's almost a little preview or a tease of that because when they're in the hotel room and they're talking about Jamaica man, Irie, and he's like doing a little Jamaican accent.
As soon as that happened, I looked at Zach and said, "Have you seen Cool Runnings?" And he's like, "I don't know. I haven't." I said, "Do you even know it?" He said, "No." He said, "Do you know the Jamaican bobsled team?" He said, "Oh, I've heard of it." Okay, so that's on our list.
Um, yeah, but John Candy was kind of like I think he was one of those like actors and comedians of that mid to late 80s, early 90s era that was just like stuck with me, almost like I mean, Robin Williams lived longer, but just kind of that kind of caliber where it was just like he was all over the place. You couldn't escape John Candy for those few years.
And
Um,
no, you're absolutely right too. He could have made a serious turn.
yeah.
There's no doubt in my mind because even in a Home Alone,
Mm-hmm.
he kind of, I mean, he was goofy, but he could have easily played the straight guy in the back of the van when he's talking to McAllister's mom, getting your back to Chicago again,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah,
about leaving
it
the
was
kids.
funny. It's like that's exactly what his power was, right? Like he could dial in and out like almost like you're dialing a radio or something, just like fine tune what his performance needs to be for any given character. So he could be as goofy and as crazy as, any character actor could be, any comedian from that time. But he could also be like really like real and dramatic. And in this movie showcases some of the scenes where
I
it
was gonna
just kind of
say
stops you in your track.
you've seen it, but I mean, there was that scene in the hotel room
Yeah.
where he's getting yelled at, and he says,
Yeah.
"I like me, my wife likes me," and
Yeah.
he just sits down, and it's like it went from like goofy to he's dead serious, and
Yeah.
he's like, "I'm done."
And it's funny because it's like this is one of the first roles where Steve Martin was kind of playing the straight man because movies before this, Steve Martin kind of came from stand up where he was kind of like the goofy kind of like and he had roles like in Little Shop of Horrors and stuff where he was very kind of like over the top. And then after this movie, he was in stuff like Father of the Bride, where it was still like a comedic role, but it was kind of more like grounded and realistic and not like super goofy or anything. And I think, well, we can actually we watched this trailer, and you can tell there's a lot of stuff in the trailer that wasn't even in the movie, and that's because these two they had never worked before, John Candy and Steve Martin. But this movie was the first time working together. They just clicked, and they were doing all kinds of improv. And John Hughes not only wrote it, but he also directed this one. And he was just letting both John Candy and Steve Martin just
Just letting him
go
breathe. Yeah.
like they had whole shooting days of them just doing back and forth ad lib and improv and and it's crazy because there's a whole it's almost like lost media where there's like a whole you could add another half hour 45 minutes to this movie with just the stuff that was filmed and cut and there's all I think there's still some stuff some footage that like John Candy's family has and stuff but it was all everything that I've seen as far as deleted scenes I'm like oh that could have been in the movie like sometimes you see it watch a
Yeah.
deleted scene and you're like oh I know why they cut
And that
that
makes sense why that's not there. Yeah.
yeah but
But
everything
on
I've
the flip
seen
side, though,
extra
the 90 minutes this movie ran, I think it
yeah
was the perfect runtime. Any more,
yeah
I think it may have been a little much,
right
frankly. But I mean, what they put in there and the way that it continuously flowed, I thought it worked great. Now, adding trains to this movie and the train was in it for 10 minutes was a little a little bait and switch, but it's
that's true
okay. The
um
train dies and the conductor basically says, "Walk a mile that way to the road and you'll get a
yeah
ride."
through the
Walk a
mud
excuse me?
a mile and a half even I think
Was it a mile? I
yeah
remember the mile, but yeah, I remember that distance. I'm like, okay, I'm an adult now. I know that distance, and I got my luggage I got to walk with,
yeah
and this heavy ass trunk with Dell's wife in it. No,
turns out we're reviewing a Halloween movie
yeah, right. This is a horror movie. He's gonna
um
open it up and put her face on. No,
oh no what are some of the scenes that you liked from their travel here? It's another road trip movie, right? Kind of like Dutch, but this has a whole, these characters are a lot different than Doyle and Dutch were in that movie.
to start with the taxi ride to that first hotel. I'm sitting there. I got my 12-year-old son next to me, and they're showing this car, and I'm like, I'm just things are catching my eye. I'm like, there's no way he's not seeing boobs in this movie. So I mean, that was funny. Just for me personally, sitting with him in the living room watching
Yeah.
it. The ride itself, you could tell was uncomfortable for the two characters,
Yeah.
but the comic level for me in my living room was great.
I
Uh,
gotta. I have to like. There are times where I feel like I am Neil, where I just feel like that guy who's just annoyed by everything around him all the time. Which when I watch this movie, it almost reminds me of that, and it makes me chill out. You know what I mean? Just like, don't be like Neil. Just like be Neil at the end of the movie, not Neil at the beginning of the movie. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Just like. because he is wound so tight, and you get it because like nothing's going his way. Like he's just inconvenienced out, like you know what I mean. It's like he just wants to get home to his family for Thanksgiving dinner. That's all he wants.
And you don't
Something
know how many
simple.
other times like he's run into delays and how
Right.
stressful his day was prior to leading up to this, and it just
Yeah.
kind of it culminated with Hutch. It's like
Right.
Hutch was almost his Christmas of present, a ghost of Christmas present type situation going on right there.
Yeah, and he really like he kind of gave like Dell is annoying, but like he does definitely doesn't deserve to get all the vitriol that Neil was
I
spitting
don't know,
out.
holding his hand and kissing him on the ear and his hand between his ass cheeks was a little much, if you got to say so myself. But dude, one of the scenes that really got me and was the car when he got his one arm stuck around the strap and he couldn't get up, so he was taking the jacket off,
Oh
and
my
then he got
gosh,
his
yeah.
other one stuck. Then he's trying to use his legs, and with a cigarette that flew into the back seat.
Yeah, yeah,
That
yeah.
whole scene I thought was comic gold. I thought it
That
was
one
great.
too, and it extends into the other part where they're going the wrong way on the highway, and the couple is like yelling at them across the way,
You're,
like "You're
you're
going the wrong way,"
how do they
and
know where we're going? They don't know.
yeah, Steve Martin's like, "They don't know where we're going." Thank you.
They-
Yeah, there are classic scenes in this movie that I loved. And I love that it had the comedy was there, the heart was there. What'd you think about the reveal at the end? Did you get any inkling at all that his wife had passed already?
yeah, Zach and I both called it.
Mm,
We both figured that out. Now, I do want to discuss the ending, but we're not quite there yet.
yeah,
I've got a little bit of a problem with the ending, but not enough for us to not enjoy the movie.
right.
And I think Zach and I both had the same problem with the movie. Believe it or not, I mean, granted, he is my kid, so he's going to think kind of like me, which isn't very
Yeah.
shocking and terrifying at the same time. Uh, but yeah, what another scene? What was something else that was funny that happened during this movie? Oh, when got the bus and they dropped him off in the car lot. They found that there was no car. He had
Oh,
keys, and then he had to walk all the way back to the airport and get in line with that lady, and
yeah,
he flipped out on her.
yeah.
That now when Dell pulled up, I thought for sure, and it may have been. I'm not sure. They never truly said that was the car that he was going to get.
Oh my gosh, no, I never put that together. That may be the case. That would make sense for this movie.
With the way
That
the
might be
movie
the
was
case.
flown, because Dell was
Yeah,
always getting. Dell took his taxi at the beginning of the movie.
right.
He was with him, sitting next to him on the plane. Then there was the hotel they were sleeping in the same bed with, and the
Yeah,
beer being spilled. And everything. It kind of goes along with the movie. It
yeah.
it was never said. They left us to imply that Dell had that car from that location.
Yeah, that scene's famous for dropping the most amount of F bombs within one
Well,
scene.
I heard that was the only reason the movie was rated R because of
Yeah,
that scene.
yeah, 13 or 14 F bombs right in a row.
I'm watching it. I'm like, that's gold. Because I'm watching myself. This is a common occurrence.
Right,
I, I
right.
I see me in
Uh-huh.
this 10, 15 years ago.
I know.
Now that I've been through customer service as much as I have, I know that's not the approach you need to take. You're
No,
getting nothing done in that approach. Hence, he got nothing done because he threw away his
no.
agreement.
Yeah. Oh, the look on her face too was just like, oh, this poor guy. It's just like she returned the F bomb right back to him.
That was
Um,
fun.
Yeah, that was a good scene too. Trying to think what else on the road. Neil just kept trying to get away from Dell like every instance, anytime that he could, and he
Between
kept finding
Dell
his
trying
way
to
back.
sleep in the car, couldn't get a room,
Yeah,
wasn't going to share. Then Neil had the two beds, and
yeah,
that's when the curtains started separating. What I mean is like you seen the bonding starting to happen there
right,
because
right.
Dell's sitting in a chair, no, Dell's laying down, Neil's laying down, Dell's
Neil's
in the
laying down.
chair.
Yeah.
and they're drinking, they're taking shots. I'm guessing out of a mini fridge,
Yeah,
and they're just getting trashed.
Right. At that point, it's just like at some point you go through some level of stress where eventually it breaks and it kind of breaks you and you're just laughing. It's like you get maniacal, where it's like, what else could be done? I'm just like in a goofy mood now, where it's just like
What
there's
else can
nothing else that can
happen?
happen.
The
Yeah,
next
exactly.
morning when they back into the hotel room, that's what can happen.
See, I took because if you remember, they didn't put any credit card or anything down. They didn't leave their information, I guess. They paid what, cash and Neil's watch.
Yeah. So
Neil
they
had
just got
like a
out of
nice watch.
town.
Oh yeah, they just got the heck out of there.
Well, then there
Oh, and
was the car.
that one scene was when Neil got the room. And Dell didn't have enough money, so Dell was just sitting out in the car that at this point was all burnt up and didn't have a
Mhm.
roof on it. And another scene where Dell was just like talking to himself and talking to his wife Marie, just like how badly he's like messing things up, and
Yeah, how
he
she's
likes this
right.
Neil guy, and it was just another scene where it was just like, oh, you really felt for this guy, and in that moment, you're feeling for this guy. You can understand and see that Neil is looking out the window and feeling for this guy. So it's like, yeah, these like tender moments that are kind of like drip dropped throughout the progression of the movie really do it for you.
Yeah, it's surrounded by crazy, you know, just crazy experiences happening all around them.
Yeah,
Between them
yeah.
getting robbed, I mean,
Oh, I
and
know.
and, and this is where you can tell the age of the movie.
Yeah.
We don't carry $400 in cash.
No.
Credit cards can be used at any location, not just specifics. You know what I mean? Rather than being a Sears card, I can only use it at Sears.
Yeah, yeah. Or
So
anything. I mean, there's lack of cell phones, right? There's no calling Ubers. There's hotel rooms now have are accessed by key cards. You can't just like stick a switchblade in there and get into the room
and pop it open and go in there.
yeah.
That's
I mean,
nuts.
there's
What?
all kinds of things where this movie shows its age.
Well, they're sitting at the counter, and Neil realizes he's short $400, and Dell's like, "Look at my wallet." Flips it open. He has nothing now too, and he's like, "We've been robbed." He's like, "No kidding."
Yeah. Yeah, with them at the diner too. There was a few diner scenes where they were together. And just that was another fun part of the movie is just I think they did it in this movie a little bit better even than even Dutch because you got a real feeling of like even though it's maybe less believable with just like the quantity and the amount of unfortunate things that were happening to Neil and Dell, but just like you get like they get these curveballs thrown at them and it's like, oh, what could happen next to really kind of like delay them getting home?
But you get a real
And
sense of time in this movie too.
you do, yeah.
You get a
I think
sense
it's
of
two
time, like
days.
day by day by day.
Yeah, it starts at the Tuesday before Thanksgiving, and like the next 48 hours is them just trying to get home in
Yeah, because
time
we
for
get two
dinner
hotel room
Thursday.
scenes.
Mm-hmm.
We get the really creepy one. Then we get the one with the two beds in it.
Yeah.
The diners. They find the train, and it along the way, all the way back to Chicago. It's essentially Dell getting them there.
Oh
It's
yeah.
like Dell has weird connections like everywhere to get him a ride somewhere or to get him a train or get him that the flight or whatever. You just everything just felt like if it
Yeah.
wasn't for Dell, Neil would have never gotten back to Chicago. Who knows when he would have gotten back to Chicago?
It's so funny you mentioned that because when I watched this movie, I felt something new because I've been working in sales for a long time, but normally it was like software sales or like retail or whatever. Now in the most recently in the last few years I've been working in industrial sales, which is a little different. It's kind of close to what Dell does. He sells shower curtain rings,
Dude,
right?
watching him sell the rings to those girls and
Yeah, it's
everyone
like
just to hawk a
earrings.
few dollars is like, oh my God, that was the greatest and slimiest thing I've ever seen.
But you could tell like he's really good at what he does, even though it's
Mhm.
not some big flashy marketing job or something. You can tell he probably doesn't make the same money that Neil does or whatever, but he's like really good at what he does.
Those
Not
shower
only
rings
like
they made out of his wife. No, I'm
I can't.
you can't.
No, no, you need to stay off Reddit.
Yeah, this was TikTok things, but Reddit,
Oh
yeah,
God,
I agree, Reddit too. But
Czechoslovakian ivory. What else did he say? It was like one owned by the Queen. They were earrings owned by the Queen. It was funny, but just like that spoke to me as far as like selling industrial stuff, when you are like selling stuff that's not like high end cars or software or whatever, you really do have to like go be old school about it. It's all about relationship management, where
Hmm.
it's like it's all these old guys that have known each other for 20 plus years, and it's like, hey, it's like it's barely sales because you're not having to sell anything. It's just all relationship. It's like I need these things, you're my guy for these things.
Yep.
And that's the kind of relationship that Dell has with a ton of people, because you could tell, especially after he lost his wife, you could tell he's probably never stopped traveling. Probably just travels
Yeah.
all year
He's
round.
yeah, he's never gone home. I got
Yeah,
the impression that since his wife died, he's never stepped foot back in the house they own.
right.
That's kind of
Yeah,
the impression that I got.
yeah, which is super sad. Uh, what about let's see, what else? I don't know. Do you think we're ready to talk about the ending?
Let's get to the ending. Yeah. So they get back to Chicago. They're catching a train to go to two different locations.
Yeah,
Neil's going home, and Dutch would go, wherever he's going to go. And come to find out, he just stays there. And this is when Neil realizes it. Like there's a light bulb
right.
in that situation when Neil goes dink, and he's like, he's not going anywhere. There's
Yeah,
something amiss. He's not going home. And he goes and sees him. He brings him back to his house. And
yeah,
the way they make it look is like, okay, he's become a part of the family. That's kind of what they implied during it.
yeah.
Um, I think the ending needed more time to breathe. I think
I
the
think that's
ending
fair.
needed about 5 minutes more
Yeah,
of breathe, rather than it just Neil and his wife looking at each other after he introduces Dutch or Hutch,
yeah,
and them doing their thing. But it was almost like the wife was angry at Neil and for a minute. The look she was giving him was like it wasn't a welcoming. I'm thankful you're home look. It
right.
was a I'm gonna rip you an asshole because you almost missed this look.
I don't know. That may be just the look that that actress gives. I don't know. She looked like she had maybe a RBF a little bit.
Yeah,
She
I
she
mean,
looked like she very stern face.
but I mean, I wouldn't have minded if they went an extra 5 minutes and they showed them maybe sitting down, and
I
there was
think,
just maybe music playing.
yeah,
There's really no dialogue, or there's talking, but it's under everything, so we can't really discern what's being said.
right.
And they either sit down in the living room and talk, or they sit down at the table and they're getting ready to have a meal, or
Yeah.
something to let the ending feel a little more satisfying.
I think that's totally valid, because it ends almost awkwardly, and a lot of movies in the 80s tend to do this too, where it's kind of a freeze frame close up, and then they start playing the outro song that rolls into the credits, which I think you're right. I think the ending needed to breathe. It just needed one more scene. And for a Thanksgiving movie where you've seen no dinner scene and it's been all
And at the
travel, I
table.
think, yeah, it needed to be at the table. Dell's there. They're all fresh and clean. They look great. They look happy. Maybe they, Neil sends his kids to bed, gives them one last hug, and you could have had just one last joke of Dell being like,
The
he
trunk's
takes his
open and
shoes
he's
off.
showing all the shower rings he's toting around the whole movie.
Yeah, or like, he takes his shoes off at the dinner table or something,
Oh
and like,
God, his shoes and his socks. We didn't talk about that at
yeah,
all.
and it like, and the kids run screaming or something, like it
Could
could
you
have been just,
imagine sitting next to someone on an airplane and them taking off their shoes and socks?
his dogs are
Oh,
barking.
I don't know if I can do it. Oh, that point I would have lost my mind.
Actually, so I do agree with you. And it's the movie is near perfect, but there are, if I were to do anything, that probably would be it. I would let the ending breathe a little bit more.
Yeah, so dude, you are 2 for 2
All right.
on your movies.
Yeah.
Knowing the movies I picked, I am 0 for 2. Well, I'm one of my movies I enjoyed, and you hit me up earlier today about getting it on it's on sale. The Medea movies.
Yeah.
I didn't like Ernest at all. This one here, I was gonna give it a 9. Like while watching it,
Yeah.
I was gonna give it a 9, and I knocked it a point because of the ending. So
Okay.
it's a solid 8 for me.
Well, actually, that's what I'm doing. Well, not an 8, but I give it a 9, only because of you're right, taking a point away because of the ending. But I think it just struck a really great balance. I think it was maybe John Hughes' best movie, and the two actors were just like titans of the time coming together, and they had really great chemistry. And I think it set the course for like their careers going forward. And it's just something you can go back to and like look at what stuff and like humor and what the world was like in 1987, right? And it was pretty cool. So that's between the both of us. I think that's 8.5. So that's like 85 out of 100. That's pretty good.
That's a solid
Yeah,
rating there. Well, you say
solid
the
score.
times. I laugh about it because we just watched Home Alone kind of while we were having a game night and playing Uno, and then this, and both of them evolve at one part of it around an airport
Right.
and no security, running through the airport to go right to the gate, and
Yeah.
zero security whatsoever. So that's the most telling thing about the times that were around when these movies were
Yeah.
made.
Pre 9/11.
You
Pre
can walk to
9/11.
the gate with no ticket. That's nuts. Just
Anyway.
thinking about that now is kind of crazy because that's we grew up with the nuts.
Yeah.
We don't have any flying experience really prior to that.
I know, yeah, and you get one guy that tries to sneak a bomb on under his shoe, and now we all have to take our shoes off, get onto the plane.
Oh man.
Oh man.
Okay, guys. So
Anyway,
that's planes, trains, and automobiles, and we both loved it. That
yeah,
was
we did.
a really fun movie to do. Uh, what movie are we looking at doing next week? Do we want to do the double feature?
Maybe we go out on the double feature.
Go out in a double feature.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so this
So,
was my
so it's gonna
pick.
be
So
your
next,
turn. Yeah.
Arthur's Christmas.
Okay.
We're gonna do Arthur's Christmas, the only animated one on here. I have never seen it. It
Yeah.
pops up like on all the feeds and everything, showing it's available. So who knows? Maybe I'm gonna be 0 for 3. We'll find. I know I'm gonna have one hit. Family Man. I love Family Man.
Yeah.
So we'll go from there. But
Okay. So Arthur's Christmas coming, and we'll review that next week.
there we go. So anything fun happened to you family wise this past weekend? I mean, we had Thanksgiving. How was your Thanksgiving?
Yeah, my Thanksgiving. I know you had a non-traditional one. I had a pretty traditional one. We hosted here. Every single dish hit, man. Every single dish was 10 out of 10. Sometimes it's like, it's maybe pretty good or not as good as the year before. I don't know what we did this year, but like everything was just top notch. Even I make the sweet potatoes every year, and I always just kind of like, it's like jazz. I don't have a recipe. I just kind of throw stuff
Yep.
together. This year, I outdid myself. A little bit of
Is it
maple,
a
a little
sweet
bit of
potato
nutmeg.
casserole, like with the
Yeah.
marshmallows on top and everything?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
How I threw it together this year though was like top notch because it wasn't too sweet. I think sometimes I go overly sweet with them, and this one had a little bit more spice, and the bake on the marshmallows was real nice. Like they were like nice and toasty on top without being burnt. They weren't like
Yeah.
underdone.
And they were
It
ooey and
was like
gooey and everything.
yeah, real good. But yeah, we had and my mom brined a turkey. Traditional, just kind of like oven baking the turkey, but she brined it beforehand, so it ended up being a little bit more moist and flavorful than it is sometimes. You can get a turkey
Trigger
breast, and
alert.
sometimes
He
it's
said moist.
how was your Thanksgiving?
It was okay. So it was weird. I was looking forward to this Thanksgiving because there was no expectations.
Yeah,
We did Thanksgiving the weekend before with my mom and all family, nephew's birthday. So we kind of celebrated then. We got up, we had the parade on, weren't really paying a whole lot of attention to it. Kids didn't give two craps. Uh,
yeah,
had some little snacks. Then we went and seen Zootopia 2,
right.
which was fantastic. There's very
Wow,
few like actual like sequels that I say are better than the original. This was better.
no kidding.
This was a lot better. And it's funny because there's a lot of references to a lot of movies in this.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm laughing at times when the rest of the theater doesn't get the reference. Or
That's
I
funny.
hear Zach start dying at something and the theater is quiet. I'm like,
Right.
that's my boy. He's laughing awkwardly when everyone else is quiet.
Yeah.
But we botched dinner We
Oh no.
underestimated when things were either going to be open or closed.
Ah,
So we wound up eating freaking chicken nuggets and like mozzarella sticks and things like that for dinner because we completely just mismanaged our time.
no kidding.
But
Wow.
after it
Well,
was all said and done, as much as was looking forward to it, I don't know if I liked it.
r-
I like the idea of not having any like expectation to be anywhere,
yeah.
but I think in the back of my head, I'm still thinking it may have felt too weird.
Hmm.
It's so abnormal that it felt odd.
I gotcha. You still had the experience of a Thanksgiving dinner, though. You just did it early, right? Didn't you do it like the weekend prior?
Yeah, we did the weekend prior, and the thing is, though,
Yeah.
and this may be what happened. I didn't eat much.
Mm.
It's like there was so much going on, and like I don't know what it was. I took a plate, but I barely ate. And by
Yeah.
the time I got home, I was so spent as I just had to sit down and I sat in the backyard by myself for like a few minutes. So I don't know
Yeah.
if it was just too much for me at the
Right.
time, but I know that could be a
I
part of it.
I would say the one I love hosting. Like we host a family Christmas party, and we've been hosting Thanksgiving for the last like 5 or so years. I do like hosting. I like having people over. I like cooking, and I like feeding everybody. I like it. I like the sentiment of it. It's fun until there's one point in the evening in Thanksgiving where I take a look in the fridge and I expect to see a bunch of leftovers,
There's
and I
nothing.
don't see much at all because at the end of the night we're just like, here, take it, please take it away. Here's your plate. Here's your Tupperware container. And by the time the house is quiet again, and we eat Thanksgiving dinner like 3 p.m., right? So
Yeah.
it's like I get hungry again when it comes to be like 7, 8 o'clock at night. I want to nibble on something. I want to make a little turkey sandwich or something. I look in the fridge, there's barely anything. I'm like, where are my Thanksgiving leftovers? I would say that's the only bad thing about hosting,
I
especially if
thought you
you're
were going to say
generous.
at a certain point in the evening, you're like, okay, looking at the watch, like, okay, I need the house to start clearing out.
Sometimes it is like that. The Thanksgiving crew that we have, they normally they normally kind of dip pretty quick, honestly. It's like because they're not like football watchers. They're not like basically dinner is the thing. We sit around, we have dinner. Sometimes we're like too full to even eat dessert, so they get like dessert to go. Like they'll get their pumpkin pie in a little to go container, and so it's never that issue. It's mostly just like at the end of the day where I'm hungry again. Out of like, because I don't eat up to 3 o'clock, pretty much nothing. I don't think I even had a bowl of cereal in the morning or anything. I was like, I was
Okay.
gonna wait to eat, and I did, and I was so full at like 3:30 in the afternoon, and then it was just disappointing to not. That's like the second Thanksgiving for me is the turkey sandwich with the actual turkey. Like I never eat like turkey. There's lunch meat turkey or whatever
Yeah.
that you eat, a turkey sandwich or a sub, but like actual like turkey breast from an actual cooked turkey, Thanksgiving turkey, I don't
Oh,
have
that
that that
sandwich hits
much.
different when
It
it's
does.
just the turkey. And you guys look
Yeah.
at me funny, but I put mustard on my turkey, and it's
Yeah.
just that chunk.
That chunk.
It's a whole lot different than an actual like sliced deli turkey.
Yeah, I didn't get that this year. I'm a little sad about it. But I don't know. It's still
What
the
else?
holiday season.
Let me see what else. Okay, so on Black Friday, I decided to take the day off, and my wife worked, so she was like, "Okay, so you're responsible for the kids."
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm like, you know what? Hey, Zach, let's go to Nova. Nova is a trampoline park that's got confidence course ropes things on it. So you got to be hooked up
Mm-hmm.
in a harness to go in. And there's a soccer thing in the back. Remember that. So since I'm taking him, I'm like, okay. So I start contacting some of his friends' dads. Hey, we're
Yeah.
going over here. Do you want to go over here about 1 o'clock? Get all the boys, get some of the boys together. And then I tell Janessa to message one of Skylar's friends. So I pick her up. So I have one of Skylar's friends and Zach, and we meet up with two of his friends.
Right.
Get 90 minutes, no big deal. And next thing I know it, they're back. And a conversation I had with Zach going into it was, if you go into that soccer court, be careful. Pay
Yeah.
attention to what's going on because you and your buddies are the only ones that play. The other kids in there are just goofing.
Right. Right.
They go in, and about 45 minutes later, he comes back and he messed up his toe, his big toe.
Oh.
One of the kids, now it's one of the friend's friend, kind of did a sliding tackle into him, which it's what I was told. Knowing Zach, there's probably more to the story, but
Yeah.
that's all I was told. I was visibly pissed there
Yeah.
because he plays soccer. He needs his flipping feet. He's playing
Right.
indoor. He's got games still.
Yeah.
So he limps around. He goes back, and we come home. And then after we're home for like a few hours, his big toe is almost 3 times the size.
Oh no, did you break it?
And then there's a bruise forming around it. I'm like, oh no. Next day, it's like someone painted his toe purple.
Oh gosh.
So we took him to urgent care, got it looked at. It's not broken. He just jammed the hell out of it. So he's in a
Wow.
boot right now. And the swelling has come down. He had 2 games he had to play last week, which weirdly on Sunday were both canceled. And hear this out. Hear why. There was a shooting
Oh
at the
gosh.
actual sportsplex. Outside, there was a shooting, and they canceled everything. It's like, dude, I guess if you're gonna get hurt and they're gonna cancel everything, you got off lucky.
That's wild. That's kind of concerning.
Yeah. I think they haven't said it, but I think it's a game that was inside that went bad.
With
I
kids?
honestly, that's what I think. That's what happened. That's not what they're saying has happened. But
Like a couple of
seeing
soccer dads got mad at each other and one had
grown
heat?
men play in there. There's grown men
okay,
leagues in
okay.
there.
I gotcha.
So I don't know. But yeah, it's he walked around today because they had a snow day today. He walked
Yeah.
around today with no boot on, and it's not bothering him. It's still black and blue.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, you got off lucky because we paid for him to go to the Columbus Goalkeeping Academy,
Oh
Academy,
yeah.
and the beginning of the month, January. I was like, dude, if it's broke, you can't do that. That's
Yeah.
why I was like, we've spent all this money in you, and then you just acted a fool when I told you not to. That's why I was like so irritated
Acted a
about it.
damn
But
fool.
I acted a fool. But yeah, we've been dealing with that, and I drug his ass out into the Christmas tree farm, so he was hobbling around while we cut down a Christmas tree.
You guys go super traditional for the tree too. Yeah, we got our tree up, but we have the same artificial one that goes up every year. You
Yep.
got a real
We
one
had the
again?
backup one that's
Mhm.
artificial, but yeah, we go to a place and we walk in the fields and drag the sled behind us and saw and we cut down our own, and it was cold as hell on
Oh yeah.
Sunday. Oh my god! I mean, I had my coveralls on. I had a Carhartt jacket and beanie. I mean, I was done up, and the
How much
family
snow
was
did
just
y'all
warm.
get last night?
We got about 4.5, 5 inches.
Oh, okay.
That was enough to get the little snowblower out to clear off the driveway because it's going to be cold as crap, and it's all going to
Yeah.
ice over. So I had to clear it off.
Yeah, we got like 3 inches here. I was surprised.
That's a decent amount of snow for you guys, isn't it?
For here, yeah. It's enough to close schools.
Yeah. We were shut down up here today too.
Yeah. That's funny. What else? The only other thing I did this week that was any new or different was I did some Black Friday stuff too. My mom doesn't like. Well, my mom loves to go out Black Friday shopping, but when she let me know, she was like, "Honey, I'm not really gonna have too much money, this year to do a ton." I was just like, "That's fine. That's what
Yeah.
honestly I prefer. Can we have a Christmas where we're not like stressed about how much money we're spending? Like, I'm totally fine with that." But so I took her out anyway, just like, picked her up, like 8:30 in the morning. We got some coffee. We went out to one or two places. There's this one place called Where You Been. It's on Dixie Highway here in Louisville. And it was like, I mean, we're never going to be sponsored by him or anything. I think I can probably crap on him safely. But it was like being in a third world country or something, man. The whole idea of the store, it's kind of like a Goodwill, but only like messier and more awful. So, like
It's
it's
like when
like
they're in like
bins.
bins and boxes and things, and you dig through
Yes.
it.
it's aisles of these huge tubs, these plastic tubs filled with just Amazon junk. Some stuff you don't even know what it is. You can tell it's like they just bought like these huge returns or shipments from Amazon or Temu or whatever, just like this, you know, junk basically. Where it was like basically the first day, everything that you find is $10 each. And then throughout the week, they progressively each day they like lower the price a bit. Till by the end of the week, you're like paying a quarter for whatever's left in these bins, right? So they just had refilled because of Black Friday, so everything was like brand new. And you see basically like the same 20 things over and over again in these bins. And it's just like there's some like as seen on TV stuff and everything's dirty and they keep yelling at you to not take stuff out of the boxes and they're like trying to like corral people like cattle and it was just not a pleasant experience.
I can
I
see
was
that being
curious, but
I can see that kind of being interesting on I don't know, a March 3rd, just a
right.
random on a Wednesday
Yeah.
type thing when it's not just a crazy, Black Friday type
Black
situation.
Friday. It was the curiosity got the better of me because it was just enough to be like, oh, well, that's interesting. Like maybe I'll find. I did end up buying a lamp and I don't know a few like desk organizers or something for me and Christina for our home office. But besides that, yeah, I mean there was nothing really worth
Dude, I'd probably
writing
be
home
swinging
about.
on people. I can't even stand walking in Walmart. If it's like as like what you're explaining and how I'm picturing
Oh,
it, oh, I
yeah.
would go nuts.
Plus, it's a great way to just like spread sickness. We're all just like fondling all the same boxes, like, and all these people just pushing their
Dude, you used
carts
moist and
around.
now you use fondling in the same show. I mean, I think I
Hey,
get
I'm
together. I
using
think we're
them
going.
correctly. I'm talking about turkey and packages, and I don't know what you're
Oh, and we're
thinking of
talking
over
about
there.
packages now. Oh, jeez.
Boxes, cardboard. What do you want me to say? You're the one with the mind in the gutter, not me.
Well, my mind is permanently there. You should see the chat I'm
Right.
in. Okay, guys. Well, I think that's where we're gonna end it on packages this week. We said we're gonna do Arthur's Christmas next week, so
Yeah.
keep an eye out. Typically, it's gonna be Monday. I was decorating my Christmas tree yesterday, so we pushed it off this week. So if we're not on Monday, we're on Tuesday. So just keep your eyes out and let us know what you think of what our opinion was on this movie.
Yeah. Let us know. Let us know. Let us know. Huh?
Guy.
Yeah.